You might be listening to this recording for the simple reason that you're struggling to connect with a new baby, new son, new daughter. The love you feel for them might be difficult in coming along. So the purpose of this recording is just to reassure you that in the circumstances, this is completely normal. There's a logical reason behind it. It's obviously a very difficult thing to experience, but all will be okay. So again, this recording is just to remind, reassure, and help give you some space from any worrying or anxious thoughts that you might be experiencing as a result of this. My name's Sam Eddy, and I've worked with many new parents who are suffering from postnatal anxiety, worries or fears, especially around not being able to connect or feel the love for a new baby or child, even sometime months or weeks after the birth. So the first thing I want to say is that having children in the modern world is a stressful experience. Birth can be a stressful experience. And that simply means that our stress response and our nervous system understandably gets tired, especially for mums, but of course also for supporting partners, dads, other mums, whoever may be involved. Now, the reason why it can be difficult to connect, feel love, feel warmth towards a child is not because you don't care or love them. That's the first thing I want to say. It's just like when the sun goes behind a cloud. Whilst we can't feel the warmth, we know the sun is always there. And that's the same with the love you feel for your child at this time. But again, there is a logical reason as to why that warmth or that love is not coming through. As I said, the stress response is active, and your nervous system, which controls the unpleasant anxiety symptoms, the stress symptoms, is heightened, it's sensitized because of the birth experience perhaps. Perhaps there was a lot of stress leading up to giving birth. Perhaps there's been stress in life more generally. We live in a fast-paced, busy world. We're connected 24/7 with our devices. We have relationship issues. We have family tension. We have difficulties at work, all very normal. But when this builds up over time, combined with having new children, where time disappears, we might be sleep deprived, it just means your nervous system is really tired, and the nervous system is switched on and the stress response is switched on into high alert. Now, this is the same stress response that is activated when there's danger around. So if you're in the street being chased by a dog, that stress response is activated to give you adrenaline, oxygen and energy. It will give you all these physical symptoms of stress, the heart racing, breathing, heightened senses, muscle tension, a whole range of symptoms, all to get your attention so you can take action and run, turn and fight, or freeze and hide. Now, this is all normal. But I guarantee you, in that moment, when you are fleeing from a dog or from danger, the normal warm emotions that you feel for a child, for your loved ones, will be deliberately suppressed at that time. Because the body doesn't realize, or the body realizes, that all your energy and effort needs to go into escaping the danger. It is effectively in survival mode. Now, unfortunately, with us humans, we tend to think about things a lot, and we can actually turn the stress response on even when there's no danger. And that's what anxiety is. It just means your nervous system's been tired. Perhaps we've been burning the candle at both ends for a long period of time, perhaps many years, and we might not even be aware of it. And because the stress response is switched on, you've got this heightened sense of awareness, especially around birth and after birth, when there's a lot of hormonal changes, particularly for women. The body is not prioritizing the love or the warmth because it feels that you're in survival mode. And with sleep deprivation, it can feel like it. So what I'm saying is that if you don't feel an instant connection with your son, daughter, child, it's completely normal in the circumstances. And I want to reassure you that the love is there. And the love will come in its own time if we let it. The temptation for many parents is to look at their child and want to feel the love, which is understandable. But when our nervous system is tired and aroused, those feelings might not come. And that can make us feel even worse. So all we actually have to do is remind and reassure us by perhaps playing this recording as often as you need. You might notice I'm speaking a bit slower. The reason I'm doing that is I'm just trying to bring you down to my calm level. You might be listening to this in a heightened state of stress because you're worried, understandably. But all we really have to do over time, and there's no rush, there's no urgency, is just to calm the nervous system down as best we can. When we start to do this, those feelings of warmth and love and connection will start to come back in their own time. We might do this through exercise to burn off excess adrenaline in our system if we haven't been doing any exercise, such as a walk around the block. We might do a guided meditation that we find through one of the apps we can put on our phone. We might do the things that will help give a calming effect to our mind and our body. The more we start to do this and do this over time, the thoughts will start to slow, the body will start to calm, the nervous system will start to calm. And it's just like the clouds moving away from the sun. The warmth will start to come through, but we don't have to force it. This can be a really difficult period and a difficult time. But I always say it's not serious, as awful as it is to feel, and it's normal given the state of our nervous system around birth and even some significant time after birth for some people. Stress is stress. It doesn't matter if it was caused by or during the birth of your child. It may have been things in the past that have contributed to it that you weren't even aware of, and it may have been operating at a high level of stress for a long period of time. But stress is stress. It's fueled by fear. And in the moment of stress, when it's activated, it will always suppress these emotions because they're just not considered a priority when the body thinks it's in survival. So again, that's all that's happening to you right now. The way out of it is to let the love and warmth come in its own time, but to have a think about what you can do to prioritize your well-being, calming your mind, perhaps through mindfulness meditation, which is effectively what we're doing today, through a guided meditation, ensuring exercise is happening to burn off the excess adrenaline, the nervous tension, watching what we're eating, avoiding too many stimulating foods, for example, talking about this with our partner perhaps, finding support through friends, speaking to someone professionally if it helps. Because when fear and stress comes along, it can be hard to remind yourself of this, and we start to get involved in our thoughts. Again, that's all very normal. But now if you realise this and this helps, it's time just to create a little bit of a plan to help look after you and prioritise your well-being. Remember, the love and warmth is always there and will always come through in its own time. It's tempting to want to force it to come out, but there's no need. The more we can understand that this is normal, given the circumstances, it can just give us a bit of peace as we go about the practical day caring for our child and family and doing what needs to be done. Even if we can't feel the warmth and the love at the time, that's okay. Your child will know it's there. So I hope that helps. I encourage you, if you found this useful, to listen to it as many times as you need, because we need to be reminded of this. The more we are reminded of it, when the worries, the anxious thinking, the thoughts come on, we are more likely to be able to remember what we need to do. My name is Sam Eddy, and I wish you all the very best.